and Chairman of the Nagaland State AIDS Control Society, Stray Y Kikheto Sema IS, respected Principal Director, Health and Family Welfare, Dr. Vibitunyo M. Sachu, Chaplain NHAK, Vikepu Depa, officials from the Directorate, senior officials of Health and Family Welfare, NHAK, NSAC, NHM, Nursing, DAPCU, and SETU. Representatives from the communities, NGOs, Abode Health Care Private Limited. It is indeed with great pleasure I stand here this morning in the launching program of the first HIV viral load testing lab in the state Nagaland at Naga Hospital Authority Kohima on this day, the 26th June, refers to people living with HIV. So with the launching of the test and treat policy in the country in 2021, NACO aims to significantly increase the number of people living with HIV to be on treatment in order to achieve the epidemic control in the state. PLHIV on treatment were traditionally tested for CD4 count to monitor Margaret and MD, NHAK, and then Dr. Margaret, who is also the MS NHAK and also the consultant and in charge of the state referral lab, the medical MD NHAK, and the lab services team of Nagaland State AIDS Control Society led by Adeno, and the care support treatment team led by Dr. Viti Hele, for working very hard in a mission mode to put everything in place for this day to happen in our state. I must thank Team Abode for coming into terms and agreement in signing the MOU with Nagaland SACS in time. We are also very grateful to Sharing their team for constantly guiding us, especially in the course of during the MOU for this RAP agreement and other technical assistance. I would like to make a mention here that the vehicle carrying our viral load lab, our viral load machine has reached in time to Kohima and it could be installed in time because of the intervention of our police commissioner, Kevi Tuto Sophie. The vehicle could reach NHK in time. We are very grateful to Sophie sir and his team. This is because according to them, the Nagaland gate, the heavy vehicles are not allowed to move out before 7 p.m. But because of this intervention, our vehicle could be released in time, and therefore it could come and that we could install and make functional today. The technical leader of Abode and the field service engineer were already here with even before the machine arrived and worked very hard to make our viral load testing lab functional. Many has put a lot of effort in.
I'd like to tell you that prior to the launch of free viral load testing for people living with HIV and AIDS all over India by NACO, patients who were failing on first line and second line ART had to travel to Imphal to do this viral load testing. During that time, I was also looking after CST in NACO, so in NSAC. So I have experience. So to detect the viral load, their samples has to reach Imphal. We have to coordinate people, those samples are to be sent. We have to coordinate that they reach here at 7 a.m. so that the one who is taking up, we have to all coordinate from Dimapur, from Mohang to Insang. Patients have to come, we have to collect their blood, pack it and make sure that it reaches the sumo or the bus that's going at that time in the morning. We have to pack it and set it. Sometimes the samples get damaged, as our director has already said. So again, the whole process starts again. Patients have to be called here again. The expenses of traveling here, early morning coming down in the lab at NHAK, taking out the blood and then going back again to family welfare through Nagaland State AIDS Control Society, and positive pressure groups of NGOs have also been very instrumental in the effort to bring this very vital mission to our state.
Person, Dr. Nepero, Sir Kikheto Sema, respected Principal Director, Dr. Vibitino and Sachu, respected Dr. Director as well as Project Director of. There has been up till date, there has been a series of progress in the fight against HIV and AIDS. The mortality has, as far as India is concerned, I believe it's come down to around 48%. And as far as India is concerned, I believe it's come down to 31%. I don't know why the difference is there, but I believe that way our state is doing a wonderful job. Now, coming down to the stages of how the progress of the fight against HIV/AIDS has come, it comes in 5 phases, I think. 5 stages which the government of India have talked about. The first stage probably is from 92 to 99, where they didn't do much. The government of India didn't do much. They just went around creating an awareness. And as far as blood safety measures are concerned, they concentrated more on that. Then in the second stage, which was from 92 to 2007, they concentrated more on the decentralization on the thing, and of course they concentrated a lot on the detection, the prevention, as well as the treatment. And the third phase, that was more, the government of India concentrated more on the decentralization to the district level. That is how the third phase came into existence. The fourth phase, it was broken up into 2 parts. The first part was from 2012 to 2017, and in that part they re-emphasized on the measures that had already been taken, and they concentrated more on the funding from government of India. The second part of the fourth phase, which went from another 5 years, that is 2007 to 2021, there they concentrated a lot on the introduction of the bill. So as you all know, the bill, the HIV/AIDS Prevention and Control Bill was introduced on that time. The test and treatment policy was also introduced during this period of time. Now, today, from 2021 to 2026, as we say, the government has gone into a more intensive mode. And this is where we stand today. And that is how actually all these things comes into existence. Now, in this present mode that we are talking about, they are concentrating on a few things. As shared earlier, juggle with our treatment. But as far as this viral load is concerned, it targets 3 things, I believe. I am sure, correct me if I'm wrong, but it targets 3 things. One is the status of the department, the principal director, led by principal director, as well as the director NSACs.
This is something that we do also, and even for the CD4 count machine, plus even for the viral mission. And then even that was in the year, I think 2017 or 18, if I'm not mistaken. Health and Family Welfare of India launched 20 plus viral load machine in India. At the time also, they call they send a letter to each of the state that whoever state come will get the first this thing. So again, I have to rush to get Delhi. But for the nearby this thing that UP, also we have booked all these train Dapa, and then for them though it's nearby, they can from here to what to do. It's very expensive for us to go so many people. So like I went, and then at the time last hour they said that for high prevalence state they said that they will see to it, but at the last hour they said that for Northeast, since there is a one in this Impal, so for time being you just go for it, and then for next district next time we will see to it. That's how we were under this thing. But even after that also, we have not stopped advocating for the viral load. But everything goes in vain. But under our esteemed leadership of our Commissioner Secretary Health and Family Welfare and Chairman NHAK Series Y, Kikheto Sema IS, and now I would say that our former Project Director NHAK Tabako, and also those who have advocated for our community and bought the viral load machine in Nagaland. Thank you, sir. Thank you, madam.
Health and Family Welfare Department and the NSACs, on behalf of our Project Director, Dr. Vijay Eldandi, and our entire Share India team for establishing this viral load lab. This is a landmark occasion, no question about that. I think these are some thoughts that can come later in the day based on the needs. And as a technical partner, we have a wonderful relationship with the lab services and NSACs, and we look forward in journeying with you for making this viral load lab fully operational and also ensuring that the quality standards are maintained. With our experience from operationalizing 64 viral load labs in the country, we certainly look forward to this relationship. We will be with you in ensuring that these standards are maintained. And thank you for giving us this opportunity to be part of this landmark occasion. And once again, our congratulations to the Health and Family Welfare and NSACs.
Of Health and Family Welfare, Dr. V.P. Tono, the Director of Medical Education and the former Project Director NHAK, Dr. Apusere, the MD of NHK, which is also the teaching hospital for the Nagaland Institute of Medical Science and Research, Dr. Sinti Merin, Dr. Vinito Chishi, and senior officers of the Department of Health and Family Welfare. Share India. Know that Nagaland is the second highest HIV positive in the country, and perhaps the highest when it comes to the antenatal care, and we have a huge responsibility. And as per the data available, about 12,290 people living with HIV are on treatment, and we don't know, the number could be more because this is the only number that are coming forward for treatment. And let us also admit that many are still unreached and untested. So we have a long way to go. I was not very serious about this. Yes, I know that this department is one of the most important departments, but I was not as serious as it would be. Spending huge time in other departments, in finance, almost all the time, in agri and allied department, spending about 34 years. At the end of the day, I was posted in this department and working with the wonderful people, unsung heroes rather. Many of your activities were not known to the people in the past. And 6 months working with my beloved health workers in the department is amazing and interesting. The way, Dr. VP, Dr. Akko and Sinti, they were sharing in the past how you were taking trouble to send the blood tests, collecting all the land and bread of the state from Nagaland, from Tangsang, from Mon, from Kipere, from Pak and Zinaboto, all the way to Rims, Impal and Bombay. I think the society need to appreciate the contribution of all those who are retired and who are still serving. Be to know that you have served to our people. And it was also the burning desire of our state to have, and as Lanu stated, the NMC visit also, they have also declared that this is one of the best government hospitals, not in our state, not only in our northeast, but one of the best in our country. So there is no doubt about it. And Lanu, tell your friends through social media, through WhatsApp, that there is a good news. I think we have every reason to celebrate today, at least joining with the people living with HIV. And HIV, and why it is recorded is, as you know, that it is a mandatory for people living with HIV that they need to be tested once in a year. And if the test result is not, it shows something else, that the drugs that they are taking is not beneficial to them. So as Cynthia stated, as a layman, perhaps it will able to, through this dynamic leadership of former PD, Dr. Akko and her team, and she will continue to lead the team as the Director of Health Education. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, and God bless all of you.